always ask me, how many times should I listen to a hypnosis track for it to actually work? And honestly, that's the wrong question. Let me explain something to you most people don't understand, and that's the law of repetition. It is one of the core laws that governs the subconscious mind. Once you understand how long your subconscious has been looping in old beliefs, you'll start to see why real change is more than just a listen. By the end of this video, you'll understand what your subconscious mind actually needs and what it takes to create lasting change. So this is one of the most common questions I get. You listen to a hypnosis track once or twice and you're like, okay, I listened. Am I healed now? Did it do its job? And it makes me laugh because it's totally normal to understand that when you don't know fully how the subconscious mind actually works. Here's what I want you to know. Your subconscious mind doesn't operate on a quick fix timeline. It doesn't operate like your conscious mind thinks it does. And the number of times you might need to listen to a track is different than the next person and another person. Everyone is different. So instead of a black or white answer, I want to offer you something else instead. Teaching you about the law of repetition, which is one of the main laws that governs the subconscious mind. Basically, your subconscious mind needs repetition in order for it to get programmed. And the way to think about this is the programming that's been in your subconscious mind has been in there for years, usually since childhood. So it's been repeating in your subconscious mind every single day, every week, every month, every year since childhood when it was put in there. So that's a whole lot of repetition that it's been going through. It's going to require some level of repetition in order to reprogram what's been in there. The cool thing about hypnosis though is that it goes directly into your subconscious mind. So the repetition that's required isn't as dramatic or drastic as what you would think it would be. It's not so one-to-one like, oh, I've been repeating this program for 35 years. I'm gonna need 35 years to reprogram new ones. No, it's not so cut and dry like that because hypnosis accesses the subconscious mind. So it's more potent than when you do the conscious level work like affirmations or journaling. So that is the good news, but it does still require repetition. It's not just like flipping a switch and it's all of a sudden like, yay, it will never be a problem again. No, some level of repetition is needed because that's how the mind works. And something to consider is depending on how long or how deep something has been penetrated into your subconscious, you might need more repetition than someone else. So it's highly individualized based on ourselves, based on the meaning we created from what we experienced, based on how much impact it had on us emotionally, how much repair we had after whatever it was that we experienced. It's so highly individualized, which is why it's not a magic number. Instead, I want you to be able to identify what you might require. So what determines your level of repetition? Well, there's a few things that come into play. How long the belief has been there, how deeply you believe it, how much you've acted that belief or way of being throughout your life, how much your nervous system thinks it's keeping you safe, and how layered it is. So yeah, it's not such a black and white answer like, oh, you listen to 3 times and you're good. In fact, I think I would be doing you a disservice if I gave you such a concrete, like, listen to it 21 times and then you'll be done. It's more about tuning into yourself, engaging how your subconscious is responding to the hypnosis that you're listening to. I would prefer you tune into yourself and listen until you no longer feel like it's needed versus giving you a concrete, listen to it 5 times and then you're good. So I have a couple other things that I want to touch on, but first, before we get into them, let me know in the comments, is there a limiting belief or a way of being that you're trying to reprogram? I would love to hear what you're trying to shift in the comments below. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is that some programming has layers. So let's say that you're listening to a track on self-worth. Self-worth has so many layers. It plays out differently in all areas of your life. There might be so many different beliefs that are contributing to your lack of self-worth. It's almost impossible to tell you how many times you need to listen in order to get yourself to be at the level of self-worth that you need, because you might have layers. You know, our self-worth is tied to so many things. It's tied to safety, it's tied to identity, it's tied to people-pleasing, it's tied to perfectionism. All of those things might require its own series of tracks for you to listen to. You might need a few different tracks from a few different angles to tackle one of those individual pieces. So if you listen to one over and over and over again, even if you listen to it for 3 years just to be dramatic and it didn't work, well, it's probably less about that track and more that you just need more support from different angles around that topic. And that's not a flaw to you or to me or to the next person. It's just a reality that we have to consider when we're doing this work. So instead of asking, how many times do I need to listen to this? Ask a better question instead. Like, do I still feel stuck around this? If the answer is yes, your subconscious probably needs more reinforcement, so keep listening. You're not doing it wrong, you're just working on a deeper layer that requires more repetition. If you're noticing that the topic of the recording isn't triggering you anymore, or it just feels lighter, then you might not need that specific track anymore. Instead of being so black or white of how many times should I listen to this, tune into your internal cues instead of just a magic number. And if you're wanting to know if your hypnosis tracks are actually working or doing anything for you, then I actually have a video on this exact topic. It's all about what to expect after a hypnosis session or after listening to your recording, and it goes into the subtle signs that the hypnosis is working. So I'll leave that video here and I'll see you over in that video.